I believe you're my portion. I believe you're more than enough for me. Jesus, you're all I need. I believe you're my peace. Somebody say, I believe. You are all I need. Come on, we believe that tonight, God. Everybody say, I believe, yeah, yeah, yeah. You're my portion. I believe, yeah. You're more than enough for me. Jesus, you're all I need. Jesus, you're all I need. I believe you're my peace. Anybody believe that tonight? Yeah. You are all I need. Hallelujah. God, we stand in total belief tonight. I believe, yeah. I believe you're my portion. I believe you're more than enough for me. Jesus, you're all I need. Jesus, you're all I need. Nothing is impossible for you. Nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible for you. You hold my world in your hands. Everybody say, I need some believers to say, nothing is impossible. We believe tonight. Come on, say it. You hold my world. Say nothing is Somebody lift your voice and say nothing. Hallelujah. Not one thing. Not one thing. Somebody say, you hold my world. Say nothing. If you need healing, he can do just that, yeah. If you need deliverance, he can do just that, yeah. Somebody say, you hold my world. Say it again, say nothing. Anybody believe that tonight? There's not one thing impossible for the Lord. There's not one thing impossible. Whatever you're dealing with, he can handle it. He can handle it. He can handle it, yeah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah, Jesus. Say nothing, nothing is impossible. Y'all say that. Say nothing. Say nothing is for you. Hold my world. Come on, think about that thing you thought that was impossible and say, whatever it is, everybody say, you hold my world. Now can we just open up our mouths and bless God? Come on, somebody open up your mouth and bless him. There's not one thing impossible for the Lord. There's not one thing impossible. Whatever you're dealing with, He can handle it. He can handle it. He can handle it. Yeah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah, Jesus. Say nothing, nothing is impossible. Y'all say that. Say nothing. And bless God. Come on, somebody open up your mouth and bless Him.
Hello, everyone. I'm sorry I had let the intro play and put it on twice. So please forgive me for that. And hope everybody is having a really, really good day. I hope everybody is having a good Tuesday. We normally do the healing room on Mondays. So before we get started, my name is Nikisha Fleming, and I am the host of the healing room. And so just want to thank you for taking time out of your Monday to come in and just be with us and taking your time. You know, our goal always here is for us to provide healing, to start your journey. Now, this is not healing. This is not therapy. So I am a therapist. I'm actually a licensed master social worker. I am in the process of getting ready to finish my clinical process. So y'all keep me in your prayers regarding that. Next week I will submit my paperwork to the board. So y'all keep me in your prayers regarding that, where I can practice more so independently. And so I got some things that I got booked for God and working on. And then also to as well, I just want to have a quick announcement. If you can, before we get started, I want you to take time out to like this broadcast. If this is blessed to you, I want you to, of course, like, share, and comment. We would like to have conversations over here. I didn't post anything on my story. So if you see somebody or you think of someone, tag them. So tag a friend, tag a family member. Our number one goal here is for us to begin our healing journey. And we know healing is a part of the wholeness process. So our goal here is for us to let's start to heal together. So again, like, share, comment if this is blessing you, tag a friend. And then of course, as we go on throughout the broadcast, feel free to ask any questions that you may have. So if something comes up, feel free to ask your question. And then also too, as well, we will be sometimes discussing very sensitive information that may be triggering. So at any moment you need to exit and find a family, a friend, or a professional to consult with, you can do that. Okay. So you can do that. Sometimes it can get heavy, and feel free to exit at any time that we're discussing information and speak with a family or friend, trusted source, a confidant, or a professional. So I'm going to flash a few numbers before we get started that you can reach out to if you feel like you need to call a professional. So let me see So we're going to go ahead and get started. Again, my name is Nakisha Fleming, and I am a licensed master social worker. But most importantly, I am a kingdom citizen. I am a child of God. I am a daughter of the Most High. I heard someone use the term God girl. I'm a God girl. And so, most importantly, my desire is to see people at their best, to see people whole, and to see people well. And so, that's what the healing room is all about. So, before we get into the topic, I just wanted to share something new endeavors that I'm doing. One of the things that I've been doing since about March is I write for a community newspaper back in my hometown in Corinth, Mississippi, called the Community News Flash. So, if you are interested in that, you could pick up the issue. I think it comes out monthly. I'm not sure exactly what date, but if I get that information, I'll let you know. But the column that I write for is called the Therapeutic Corner. So for the past few months, I've been writing about different types of self-care. And so you can also, if you go on Google, you can type in Community News Flash, and it should also pop up the newspaper. And you can also look at the article online. So that's something that I've been doing for the past, I say, since March. Hello, everybody. Hello, Sister Latrice and Sister Leslie and Sister Bettina. So good to see you all. And hello, everyone else that is on. If you have not commented, I'm trying to see if maybe I can see who's on. I can't see exactly who's viewing from this platform, but I'll be able to on my other platform. But thank you for taking the time out to come on. Please like, share, comment, all that good stuff. And don't forget to tag a friend. So do all that wonderful stuff. Like, share, comment, and don't forget to tag a friend who can benefit from this. Okay. So like I said, I've been writing for a Community News Flash paper, which is a paper based out in my hometown, Corinth, Mississippi. So again, if you're in Corinth, Mississippi, pick up that issue monthly. And then also, if you're not, you can search on Google Community News Flash, and you can go and look at the different issues that have been posted. I think so far for this year. So I started writing for the issue in March. And another thing that I posted today, I want to thank you all. Hey, Fred, so nice to see you. But I want to thank you all for your support and your love on today. I posted in something that I'm doing now. So, as I stated at the beginning, I am working on finishing up my clinical license process where I can practice more so independently, have my own business, things of that nature. But one of the new things that I've been able to do is work as a therapist associate for a company called Cerebral, and it's a telehealth company. So I'm gonna flash Let me get back on here. There you go. So those are some of the services that they have. So I just posted the link in the comments, and I'm going to kind of tell you prices. So this is not me working my own company. This is a company that I'm working for, but I'm able to offer services to individuals who want maybe therapy or therapy and medication, or just therapy and a care counselor. So let me see here if I can kind of look at prices. I think if you do, let me look. Y'all bear with me. It's been a minute since I've been on, y'all. It's been a minute. So let me go on here. I'm gonna look so I'm looking up Cerebral. So how some of the packages that they have here is they have it where you can. That's not it. So that's like I said, they have where you can have a therapist and see either a nurse practitioner or a medical doctor, like if you're interested in medication. Yes, I said if you're interested in medication, taking medication does not mean you're crazy. But hey, let's say you've gone through a traumatic event, you experiencing some anxiety, you feel like you may need medication. So they have those services offer. A lot of some of the telehealth services just have therapy, but Cerebral, as far as I know, has you can do therapy and medication. You could do therapy like a care counselor, which is kind of like a coach, or you could just do therapy. So I'm looking on their website now, and it's a monthly subscription, and you can cancel at any time. So when the link that I posted, it goes directly to the page, tells about me, my bio, and all my information, and then you can click on a scale. You can click on a day, a month, and a day, and then you can schedule an appointment with me based on my availability. It should be in there. And so if you want to just do medication and care counseling, which you can do phone or video sessions, then that is starting out for your first month is $30. Now, I'm not a care counselor with Cerebral. I'm a therapist. So if you do that, you will not be seeing me. So their first month is $30. The medication plus coaching, I'm not a coach, I'm a therapist, is $79 for your first month. Medication plus coaching. And then for just coaching, it is $59. Again, I'm not a coach, I'm a therapist. And then let me see here. I'm trying to see how much it is for just therapy. I'm gonna have to go on this page here. But anywho, if you click on that link, I'm still gonna try to see if I can get that information from you. If you click on that link, you should be able to book with me if you click on that link. And they have different packages, and it's a monthly subscription. Unfortunately, right now at the time, I cannot take insurance because of my licensure. But hopefully, once I get that license, which is hopefully soon, I will be able to take insurance. So yes, on their website, medication plus care counseling is $30 for your first month, and I think after that it's $99 a month. And think about this, you all, for individual sessions at not Cerebral, but for individual sessions for therapy is expensive. Now I see students, I work at Mississippi State, I see students, so as long as they're a student full-time paying tuition, it's no charge. But $99 a month, if you divide that, let's say you're doing a session every week and you divide that by 4, that's like $20, $25 per session. So you may be looking at the big price, but $99 a month is not bad. And then so $30 a month for medication and care counseling. I'm not a care counselor, I'm a therapist. Then they have a plan for medication and therapy, which the first month is $139. So that's $139 a month. And do the math, 139 divided by 4. So, because normally a session, depending on your insurance, depending on your deductible, all that stuff, you can be charged $125, $150 per session when it comes to therapy. because not all insurance is the same. Some insurance may say, hey, you only have to pay $30 per session. Some insurance say, hey, you got a $1,500 deductible that you got to meet before we kick in and pay. Then it may be we only gonna pay 80% or we only gonna pay 50%. So Cerebral has some good packages. They may need to give me a little extra for advertising for them. But anywho, I have put the links in the comment section. I hope you have gotten those. The link goes directly to my page, my bio. If you look at the bottom right, when you click on that link, you'll see a calendar. You click on the date that you may be interested in, and it may not be you, maybe someone else. Like I said, I appreciate the love and support y'all showed. I was not expecting that much support, but I am definitely appreciative of it. So I'm just doing that as a way to build my caseload with them. And I was like, hey, people are asking me all the time, can they see me? And so again, I want you to know that I'm not the one who has created the prices. Their company has. But if you would like to book with me, you can. And most of my availability is after hours. So if you work during the day, that's perfect because I do too. I still work my other job during the day. And so if you work during the day, then and you say, hey, I only have time to see you after hours, that works too. Some things ethically, of course, I can't see people I know. So I can't see my friends. I can't see, people that I have any type of relationship with or association with. So, but if you have any questions for me, if you got my number, call. If not, inbox me, okay? So, but I just want to say that I'm excited about what God is doing. And y'all, this is just a start. This is just a start. My goal is to have my own practice and get there. So I'm giving myself a year to do that. So if you saw the title for tonight's session, I want you to comment that you saw the title. And I want you, as you put that you saw the title in the comments, I want you to also guess, what am I going to be talking about? So I'm going to give y'all a few minutes and I want you to guess, what is Kiki going to be talking about on tonight? So again, continue to like, share, and comment. But I want you to put in there, someone says yes, they saw it. So tell me, what do you think is the topic of discussion for tonight? So I want you to y'all like it up, share, comment. We're gonna heal together. We're gonna ask questions. There's no question that's a bad question. Remember, if this is sensitive information, you need to X and get a professional. Do that. I encourage you to do so. Okay. I encourage you to do so. So that's good. Toxic relationships, unhealthy relationships, and why we shouldn't remain in them. That's good. That's good. What's some more? What's some more? Y'all keep on guessing. Y'all keep on guessing. So someone says toxic relationships. My brother here, Burrell, says unhealthy relationships and why we shouldn't remain in them. Y'all come on now. One thing I said I wanted to do is because I like to watch Wake Up Monday with Bishop Vincent Matthews. He's family on my husband's side. And he had a phone set up last night. I was like, man, I need to figure out how he did that. I need to call and talk to his sons to see how he did that. Somebody put trifling people. All right now. Hello, Miss Linda. Hello, unhealthy relationship. That's right. So a lot of you have been in the vein. We're talking about toxic relationships. Some may say unhealthy relationships. So however you want to describe it, but we're talking about relationships. And the title of this is relationships. It's poison. So relationships, is not semi-coke. Lord help me, pregnancy brain. So I put relationships, it's poison. It's poison. It's poison. So I want to talk about, yes, toxic relationship, unhealthy relationships. And because sometimes we can be in cycles or we can be in these relationships and not even know that they're unhealthy, depending on who the relationship is with. And sometimes we need to just have a wake up call. So this is not Wake Up Monday. This is the healing room. So I want to talk about, toxic relationships. Before I get into toxic relationships, I need you all's help. And like I said, we here to have a conversation. So I need y'all to converse with me, talk to me. Okay, put it in the comments. Let's chat. We're gonna start at the basics. What is a relationship? So, what is a relationship? What would be your definition of a relationship? You ain't got to use Google. You ain't got to use encyclopedia, Merriam-Webster dictionary. Well, what is your definition of a relationship? Oh, that orange, not orange juice, that apple juice so good. So come on, y'all. Let's put in the comments. Come on, talk to me. A bond between two or more people. I dig it. Relationship. How would you define relationship? What is your definition of relationship? So for me, I'm gonna let y'all keep commenting. So this is what Burrell said: a bond between two or more people. I define relationship. So relationship is when, for me, is when two or more people have a connection. So it can be that, like, for instance, it could be like we like to collect, both like to collect china. Our relationship is built off that. It could be, okay, Charleston Richardson, first name Charlie, last name Richardson. He said a strong connection between two individuals. So yes, I dig that. So my definition, y'all keep commenting. What's your definition of a relationship? I define relationship as relate. Okay, relationship. Two or more people have a bond, an interest, commonality, and that's how they are connected. It could be that we're family. It could be that we're spouses, we're best friends. We both like we both like hip hop music. We both like rock music. We both like this. And so we have a relationship that's built on that. So relationship. So we just starting basic tonight. What is a relationship? Y'all keep on commenting. There ain't no right or wrong answer. This is just how we perceive, how we think. So definition of relationship. Google says a relationship is the way in which two or more concepts, objects, or people are connected, or the state of being connected. I like that. The state of being connected, relationship. So we are connected somehow. It could be it could be one-on-one connection. It could be a group connection. So relationship. Okay. So I asked you, what is a relationship? Let's take it a step further. What is a healthy relationship? What is a healthy relationship? Somebody also put relationship is an interpersonal connection with a person or thing in which there is shared history. There can be history involved, definitely. If you are family, there's connection, and so family, we have history. If I've been married for so many years, even before marriage, I hope you dated some. There's history. So yeah. So tell me. So we define what a relationship is, and y'all can keep commenting on that. But what are some descriptions of a healthy relationship? So what are some things or some qualities of a healthy relationship? What are some things you think are a healthy relationship? So what are some things you think is a healthy relationship? Y'all comment that for me in the chat. So for me, a healthy relationship, what it involves for me is respect. Burrell says a dynamic between two or more people that has positive effects on all parties. Ooh, that's so good. I like that. A dynamic between two or more people that has positive effects on all parties. So we're talking about a healthy relationship. And he says some characteristics for him are accountability, honesty, shared interests. Kind of hard for us to kind of vibe if we don't have nothing in common. It's kind of hard, for that. But if we both like, let's say, action movies, hey, we got a common interest. Hopefully it's more than that for you on a relationship. But for some, being involved in a club is a relationship. If you both are if you all are in a club or involved with a club with somebody, you're in a relationship. So for me, a healthy relationship, and I love that definition, Burrell, it is, I say, a collaboration between two or more parties, and they all have the same maybe goal or perspective in mind. And it doesn't mean, hey, I'm in a relationship, I'm going to get my master's, they're going to get their master's. It could be the goal is that we're growing together. Or depending on the relationship, if it's a mentor, that's a good relationship. It could be the goal is they're trying to help me. Like, for instance, my clinical supervisor, she's helping me obtain my license as a clinical social worker. My coworkers, I have a pretty good healthy relationship with my coworkers. It could be that we're all trying to have as less stress as possible when it comes to our jobs. So it depends on relationship. A relationship with your pastor, a relationship with your other church members. It could be that we both love the Lord and we're going to go after him and give it all we got. So those are healthy relationships. Burrell says, yes, heavy on the collaboration. And relationships, someone put relationship is in which there is reciprocity. I like that word. Reciprocity of effort, loyalty, and self-sacrifice. I like it. Reciprocity. It's not a relationship if there's no reciprocity. Reciprocity basically means we both giving, we both taking. So imagine being in a situation where, let's say, you have a bank account, and on that bank account is you and another trusted, let's say somebody you feel like you can trust. Let's say you deposited $500 into the account every month. And the deal was you was going to deposit 500, they was going to deposit 500 or whatever. But what if you start noticing in month 3 that they haven't deposited their 500? So reciprocity is I'm putting some in, taking some out, and not just one person putting some in and one person's taking some out. That's not reciprocity. Sister Linda Matizik, both people are thriving, not just surviving. I like it. Relationships should be thriving. Not saying there's not difficulties in healthy relationships, but even in a healthy relationship is, hey, we know we have the right communication, and we're both healthy enough to communicate even in the challenges and the difficulty. Okay. Let's see here. Sister Ruby says it involves honesty, communication between one another, a effort, even a compromise from both. So some compromise in there from both, not just one, but from both. Oh, I like that too, Burrell. I like that you said, I think another characteristic is being able to compliment. So my strength is, I'm sure a little bit about me and my husband. I'm really good at like organizing. I love to clean, love to clean house, love organizing. People have been over my house and they said, and I'm thinking, man, my house dirty. I need to clean up. You know how we are. You just know when your house is not up to par. And I've had people say, and I clean it up and they'll come back and they'll say, it don't look different to me. It looks the same. It still looks, I mean, if you call that dirty and this clean, it looks the same. So, but that's my strength. And so for my husband, a strength for him, he's good at keeping the yard work done. I don't know nothing about working on lawnmower, pushing and weed eating and all that other good stuff, but he does. And thank God he does, because it's been hot. And so he can do that as well. But we also have other strengths. The rest of your house is violent. But also one of the things my husband, I like to organize. And my husband, he's a good cleaner too as well. But for me, I pick cleaning over cooking. Not that I can't cook now. Don't get it twisted. I can cook. But I pick cleaning over cooking. So my husband, he's a good cook as well. He's really good cook. I'm starting to feel like he's better than me. But so if he cook, I'm like, hey, let me at least do the dishes. Let me at least do the dishes. Let me at least clean up the kitchen. So yeah. So that's I like that. The compliment compromise. Also Lori said relationship is when you the person are better. I do believe, in that what she was saying is too, I think relationships should cause improvement. Kind of like going back to what was said earlier, is that relationships, it should benefit you, right? And so we talked about relationships, right? We talked about a healthy relationship. Y'all are wonderful. Y'all are some great participants. I like that Lady Linda Matizik, compromising for growth, right? Because if it's just me, if I just got a relationship with me, then I ain't gonna really push me. I know what I like, I know what I want, know what I feel like doing. But when I'm in a relationship with a friend or a family member, and they's like, hey, I know you like to do this. Well, hey, I'm gonna get one. I like to shop. Okay. So they may say, hey, I know you like to shop a lot, but hey, I want to encourage you. Maybe try to not spend your money, put it towards investment or something like that. So it's pushing me to compromise something I like doing, but it's to better and grow. So we talked about what a relationship is. We talked about what classifies as a healthy relationship, and y'all did so good as to entering characteristics of a healthy relationship. So now I want us to talk about what is a toxic relationship. Toxic or unhealthy. So the opposite of healthy is unhealthy. So what is some classifications of an unhealthy relationship? We're gonna get in heavy, y'all. We're gonna get in heavy. Cause this past I've had somebody I had somebody ask me, and I'm just gonna have to be sensitive to what the Lord is saying. But for these past couple of weeks, it's been challenging for me. I've had to kind of deal with some things regarding relationships, and I had to make some tough decisions. And we're gonna get into that, talking about that. So unhealthy relationships. Someone put relationships that are unbalanced. Sister Shirley Harper put, is when you don't communicate with each other. That's definitely an aspect of it. Someone put, gotta be upfront, open to understanding. Justice, hey Justice, that's my cousin, y'all. She put gaslighting, no communication, no respect, no responsibility. Girl, you all up in it. Feel like what I had been dealing with these past couple weeks, but yes, gaslighting, not cool, not okay. No communication, no respect, no responsibility. Someone put a relationship that is one-sided and or depletes one's energy. Oh yes, you own it too. Sister Alicia says no communicating and not agreeing on the same thing. Relationships with individuals that lack. That's my husband, y'all. I wonder why I ain't showing you up on my end, sweetheart. But yeah, relationships with individuals that lack self-awareness. Yes, that's it. And Marquita, y'all, that's my beautician. She the bomb. She the bomb. Now, don't y'all try to go and book her up now, because she's already hard to get as is. So y'all don't go book her up. But y'all can better check her out. Don't go book her up. No, I'm just kidding. She's wonderful. She did my hair today. Hey. And but she said being with a narcissistic person is very toxic. Very toxic. And some of y'all have already mentioned characteristics of a narcissistic person. And y'all probably have heard that term narcissistic. And but basically it's basically somebody who's not self-aware. It's all about them. I mean, they have no self-awareness. Like they can't access it. Maybe they could, they go to therapy, but that would be kind of hard to. I think I married therapized maybe one or two people who was narcissists, and I tell you, it was a challenge. It's a challenge. So, but yeah. So someone who's not aware, gaslighting, all those things. So We're gonna get into it. Y'all keep on commenting, sharing y'all thought. I want to give the basis of relationships. Okay. When you're born into a community. That community is called a family. And so with community comes relationships, right? Relationships. I'm trying not to get preaching. My husband, he's a pastor, so I'm trying not to get preaching. But I want to say, look at your neighbor and say relationship. But anyway, so we are born into families, and we're born with those families. They're our first community that we're a part of. And with that first community we're a part of is, we build relationships. And some of us, and including myself, have been a part of that family community and have not experienced the best relationships. All right, Justice, don't push me down. But we have not experienced the best family relationships, whether it's having a loved one on drugs that can impair someone's ability to have a healthy relationship. Trauma, unresolved, not just experiencing trauma, but unresolved trauma. Because if I've been through trauma, but I have the awareness to know I need to go talk to a professional, or I need to go seek out help or whatever to process this trauma, that's different. But when I've experienced trauma and it's been unprocessed and even unidentified, like unidentified trauma, you just completely unaware, that is another way that can impair you for relationships. And so we as individuals were created for relationships. My husband, hey, Sister Margaret, so good to see you all the way from Arlington, Texas. I love you and miss you much. But last night, me and my husband were talking, and we were just saying how when it comes to like getting loans and getting money and getting stuff that you need, like connections, and he said it really is about who you know, right? So if I have seen where if I tell people who I'm married to, tell them my husband's name, they be like, oh, it's so and so son. Oh yeah, I know that family. It's a good family. And it made that connection easier, instant, and they did more for me. Or I've had it where I tell people, yeah, I was a Grayson before I became a Fleming. Yeah, we've owned Grayson Funeral Home in Tupelo. Not saying me and my mom own them, but my family, Grayson Funeral Home, that's from my family in Tupelo and in Corinth. So it's like, oh yeah, I know, okay, the owner in Corinth, Pappy. That's, I know Pappy, that's your cousin. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, that's my cousin. And so we are able, you may have found, and y'all may have even experienced this, you've been able to get a loan. Yes, like my husband says, social capital is everything. You have been able, for some of y'all been able to get a loan. You may have been able to have favor with the job. I'm going to give you a chance because I know your family. All because of those connections and those relationships. Relationships were always intended. God's intention for relationships was for that to be beneficial. Let me tell you why. When God made Eve, and I'm not trying to be preachy or project my beliefs on anybody, but this is what I believe. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe he died for my sins. Yes, I do. And so a lot of my basis is going to be the word of God. It's truth. And so I believe God backs his word up, even in social, political issues. I do. I believe he backed his word up. And so when God created Eve, he created her to be, he says, I'm going to make you a helpmeet, Adam, suitable for you. So Eve was created to be a benefit for him. Because God saw that Adam couldn't have help in the animals. Animals couldn't help Adam. He needed to tend to them and care for them. And so God created Eve to be a help for Adam. And so God's intentions for relationships, even if you think about the relationship with him, was for always for there to be benefit. Now, y'all say benefit in the comments. I'm going to get preaching now. Say benefit in the comments. But that was God's always intentions. And so when, of course, us being free moral agents and having decisions, and decisions were made, which causes a lot of things to be shifted out of alignment with the world, with even our relationship with God, and even our relationship with ourselves. Because when, just sin came in, then it caused things to be out of alignment, which became in sickness, death, hard work, all those different things came into the world, just causes things to kind of be turned upside down instead of right side up. And so, because of that, now we have situations, we have traumas, we have circumstances sometimes that we're either born into or just happen to us that causes us to have maybe some impairments in our relationship. So, I just want to kind of share with you, and I want you to think about, okay, that was the basis of relationships and why relationships were created. It was always supposed to be for benefit, right? Business deals, benefit. Two parties supposed to benefit. When I go and get my hair done, I'm paying my beautician money. She's providing a service and she's doing my hair. I ain't got to fool with it. I get to look good. I feel glamorous, all that good stuff. You know, me and my husband, marriage, it was for benefit. But not because we live in a imperfect world. Now we have these situations called toxic relationships. Say toxic. Look at your neighbor and say toxic. Neighbor, I hope you're not toxic, but look at your neighbor and say toxic. So say toxic in the comments. Toxic, toxic. So I'm going to say this. I think I've used this analogy before. And so if there's any one of y'all, if y'all ever been outdoors walking and you ever saw poison ivy, or let's say, you know, you have bug spray in your house, are you going to take that bug spray? And I got me some orange juice here. Not orange juice. Why I keep saying orange juice? Apple juice is apple juice. Are you going to take that bug spray and spray it in your apple juice and drink it? A lot of y'all are probably shaking your head like, no. Would you take that poison ivy and literally just lay it all on your face and do like this? No, you wouldn't. So I want to ask you a question, because believe it or not, some of us are in this right now. I want to ask you a question. If you wouldn't take poison and put it in your juice, if you wouldn't take poison ivy and lay it on your skin, why is it that we deal with the poison behaviors of our friends or our families? What y'all think about that? What you think about that? Why is it that we deal with the poisonous behaviors of our friends and our family? Why is it? Is it out of obligation? Is it out of you obligating yourself? And I think a lot of us, we stay in relationships that are toxic, that are poisonous, longer than we should, because it could be history. It could be because of family. This is family. So this is blood. I have to. And it could be because, you know, sometimes, because I know at one time I had this situation when I was in an unhealthy romantic relationship, as far as like I was dating someone else and before my husband, and I felt like I needed to stay in that unhealthy relationship because I felt like it wasn't going to get any better than him. Anybody ever felt like that? I mean, if you resonating with me, just let me know in the chats. We having conversations, okay? We having conversations. This is the healing room. This is what we do. Oh, Sister Margaret. Oh my goodness. Oh, you don't hit something. You said because we have been taught that love covers a multitude of sins. How many of y'all, you ain't got to put in the comments you don't want to. How many of y'all have stayed in a relationship? I'm gonna get close. You stayed in a relationship because you thought, I'm a Christian, and blink my eyelashes. I'm a Christian and I know better. And maybe God is using me to mend this relationship. How about this? Because she put a good comment. Maybe God is wanting me to be the bigger person. Oh, let me go a little deeper. Maybe God, maybe I'm the one. Let me really translate what they're saying. Maybe I'm the savior and I need to help them and I need to give them the benefit of the doubt when it's been years and years and years of emotional and verbal abuse. Okay, I'm gonna sit back now. I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna let that simmer a little bit because I've done that. I'm not making fun, but when Sister Margaret, you put that comment in there, it just like it struck me because I can't tell you how many times let me be transparent as God releasing me on this way. I like that, Auntie. She she said that wasn't my ministry. I like that, Auntie. I like that. I likes it. I likes it. But as it comes to the relationship with my biological father, some of you may or may not have seen or know what my father looks like, but some of you who may be watching may know who exactly my father is, my biological father. Um, but here recently, I've just been in this space, and I'm not with this whole no new friends, cut off everybody, burn this bridge, burn that bridge. My husband he's been such a good help with me and not burning bridges, because he always say you never know when you might have to cross back over that bridge. And I thank God for that. But my husband also do love his wife, and he's also concerned and he cares about me, and I care about him as well. And we don't like to see each other getting hurt, because both me and my husband, I would say, we are really good people. We attracted each other, and I believe you are what you attract. Hello, somebody. So if he dope, I'm dope. Okay. But so my husband, he said something to me concerning, relationship with some individuals that were close to me. He said, I just think you need to make a decision. And I was just like, what you mean? He was like, I think you need to make a decision on where you stand. And that's right, boo. That's my boo. That's my husband. But he said, pertaining to a relationship with my father was one individual he talked about, and I won't disclose the other one because God is not releasing me right now. But he said, you need to make a decision on what you want this relationship to look like. He said, you need to decide where you stand. Because I'm going to say this, y'all. It's not fair. If you in a relationship and this person got you riding that little roller coaster of chaos, confusion, mess, disrespect, and drama, you need to decide when you're going to get off the ride. And I had to make a decision. I thank God for my husband, not only just being my husband, but being my friend, my best friend, and holding me accountable. He's like, you need to decide where you stand. And he said, if you gonna do this and ride a roller coaster, he said, by all means, he said, you need to consider what comes with that on this roller coaster ride. He said, but if you tired of it and you tired of the up and down chaos and all that, he said, then you get off. He said, but whatever you do, he wasn't pushing me one way or another. He said, whatever you do, make a decision you can live with. And that's why I'm encouraging you all. Anytime I get on here, I'm not saying do this, do that. I'm saying you got to decide where you stand. And as far as us talking about relationships, you decide where you stand. If you okay with the chaos and confusion, if you're okay with being in a relationship with somebody who's disrespectful, who lies, cheats, whatever, that's you. And I'm not judging you or discrediting you, because I've been there. And I'm honest, I'm tell you the truth. I'm still working on how to maneuver these recent relationships that I have decided to disconnect from. And so, but my my biological father, I won't go into details, but I understand a lot of why he do what he do because of the things that happened growing up. But even in that, if y'all saw my post yesterday, I said, I'm not going to say all of it, but I said, I'm going to heal basically, and I'm not going to blame anybody. I think it comes to a place where we acknowledge that, yes, I grew up and some things happened in my relationship with my mom, some things happened in my relationship with my dad, my relationship with my sister, so forth, so on. And because of that, now I'm struggling with trust, or now I'm struggling with insecurity, or now I'm struggling with, being in relationships with people who don't really love me and respect me. And so I think we can acknowledge that there may be some things in life that have happened to us from people that we trusted, who should have been trusted sources. And then it has caused us to have to maybe deal with certain behaviors or certain inner challenges that we have to go through, whatever. But I think we should, as you get older as adults, you should get to a place where it's not, I'm blaming. It should never be, I'm blaming. I remember my husband told me, he said, it was early on in our marriage. We'll be married 5 years next month, y'all. Whoop, whoop. But he told me one time we had got a disagreement. I said, well, I'm like this because my dad wasn't just really around. He wasn't really around. I know who my dad is. Now, I will say my dad was there for me the first years of my younger life, but after my younger life and getting on into my teens, he just wasn't there. And the truth of the matter is, I needed him to be there. And one of the things that I had to learn in life is that things will happen to you, and you got to accept sometimes that it wasn't right, it wasn't fair. But how do I move to a point in life where I can be healed, I can go through my healing process and be whole. And so when it comes to like my father, like I said, people there may be some people watching who know who my father is. I don't think he's a bad person at all. But him not being, no, I'm gonna go back. No, but I don't believe my biological father is a bad person. However, there are some things that happen of by him not being there when I needed to be there that affected me. And so I'm at a point in life now where I'm thankful to God that I've been able to have men in my life who have been phenomenal father figures to me. My husband's dad, I call him daddy. Like that's daddy for me. That's daddy. My husband dad, I call him daddy. He's so understanding. I feel like we have a lot, me and my husband dad, I feel like we have a lot in common as far as our upbringing. And so I feel like my husband dad, he just understands me. He's very, non-judgmental. I love that about him. And so I call my husband's daddy, daddy. And I can't thank God enough for him. I can't thank God enough for that man. If something was to happen to him, I will be devastated because the love he has shown for me. And God has, let me tell y'all something about God and the Lord. I remember one day and I'm just going as I feel led. I remember one day I was on the couch and I remember asking God a question. And I said, Lord, how am I able to love my daughter, my child, and my unborn child? How am I able to love them? And it's not that my parents did a horrible job; they didn't. I always want to let people know on here, I'm just speaking my truth. That's it. I'm not here to blast anybody. I'm not here to make anybody feel bad. I'm just speaking my truth. I'm just sharing it from my lens. That's it. And I remember praying to God. I said, Lord, how am I able to love my child the way I am now? And I'm not a perfect parent, but I said, Lord, how am I able to do that when I felt like I didn't get the love and attention and affection that I needed from my dad? And God told me this. He says, I am love. And he said, I'm the originating source of love. And if you didn't get it from the people that you thought you were supposed to get it from, he said, you can get it from me. And even if you did get it from the people that you were supposed to, praise God for that, you can still get it. The love from Jesus Christ. And when he said that to me, all I could do was weep. And I remember sharing it with my husband. And I was like, that blows my mind. Because I used to, and my husband told me this past Father's Day, because Father's Day used to always be kind of iffy for me. And I said, I told my husband, he said, how you feeling? My husband's so, he's such a great man. He's always we always try to check in with each other emotionally. And so he know Father's Day used to be challenging for me. This past Father's Day, I really, really, really enjoyed it. I celebrated all the men in my life who have been the it in my life, who have been there, who have loved, who have supported, who have given me wisdom, who have told me when I was wrong. I just celebrated all the men. And my husband, he told me this because I was kind of feeling obligated to tell my fathers Happy Father's Day. Now, I don't believe everybody's different. This is just me. I know some people say, well, I'm going to tell my mother Happy Father's Day. She's been a father and a mother to me. I get that. And I used to say that. But a woman, let me just think about this. If a woman I'm gonna say this. We talk about relationships. If a person, if one person in your life was created to be everything you needed, then you wouldn't need no relationships with other people. Think about that. So if my best friend was, if in her was everything I needed out of a relationship, then I wouldn't need a husband, I wouldn't need children, all that stuff. So relationships, different relationships bring out different aspects in us. So we need these variety of relationships, and no one person can give you everything you need. No one person can give you everything you need except for God. No one person can give you everything you need. So I think it's important to have a variety of relationships. It may be, hey, this is my friend over here. We both clinicians, we both therapists, we get it. It may be over here that this is my husband. We love to travel together. We could just sit in a room, not talk, watch TV, laugh, joke, whatever, crack jokes, have serious conversations, all that. And this is my child. I get to see parts of me and her. I get to see her grow, develop. I get to train up, legacy, all that. Oh, this is my mother. Y'all, I love it when my mother come visit me because she clean my house, straighten up, wash my dishes, everything. She just takes a lot off. She be speaking my love language. She just be speaking my language. And so we need different relationships because they bring out different aspects in us. And so I'm just thankful for the men who have been father figures in my life. And so back to recently, the relationship with my dad, I have came to the conclusion is, I'm gonna say this: if you're watching and you're a man and you are a father and you trying to figure out how do I build a relationship back with my kids, they may be grown and maybe older. Start off, and this is just a suggestion, but start off by having a conversation. You probably have no idea the questions that they have in their mind. Because growing up a little girl, I used to wonder, because it wasn't like my daddy lived in another state. My daddy lived in the same hometown I did. And less than 10 minutes away from where I live most of the time. Corinth, Mississippi is not that big. And so it's important, if you're a man on here, you got kids and you've been wanting to build a relationship with them and you just don't know where to start off by having a conversation. Don't make the excuse, oh, well, it was some things with me and your mother. That may be the case. But if that child is an adult, now it's on you. Now it is on you. And you get to decide how you want the relationship to look. So I'm 29 years old. And a little more closer to being 30. So, I'm 29 years old. And for the past, I'll say at least 10, 11 years, I have been putting it on myself to call my biological father, text him, reach out to him, and all these things. And I'm in a space now where I had to realize that it is more so his responsibility to build a relationship with me than it is my responsibility to build a relationship with him. Y'all, there have been years where I have gone a whole year and not heard from my dad. There have been times where I've gone half a year and not heard from my biological dad. And stuff like that hurts. It hurts because I had went through a healing course through Prophetess Deanna Benson, because that was my root of rejection right there, was my dad. The first man that I needed to tell me as a young woman who I was, my worth, and my validation was not there. And I want you to think about it. If you a man on here and you dealing with that, I ain't trying to call you out, but I want you to think about that. The impact that has. And think about being a young man and not having a relationship with your dad, and you trying to figure out what it looks like to be a man. And he's not there to give direction, provide any of that. And so I had to make a decision, y'all, because we're talking about unhealthy relationships. I had to make a decision, and I had put the pressure on myself. I'm talking about me. I had put the pressure on myself. Said, oh, I'm the Christian. I should reach out and I should try to mend this relationship. But what did we say a relationship was? Most of y'all put in here that relationship was at least between two people. So I'm gonna ask you this: if you in a relationship and you do all the calling and you do all the texting, is there a relationship? And maybe texting and calling ain't nothing for you. Maybe you good. You and your friends, y'all get together once in a while. Y'all may not hear from each other. Maybe, hey, girl, let's go do something, But a relationship, like that, somebody said that word, reciprocity. Yes, girl. We put pressure on ourselves. I got to be the bigger person. I'm the Christian. I know God. I know, but I got a relationship with Jesus. And that's all great. But at what point does it get to a point where you're riding a roller coaster of toxicity? That's a hard word to say. What at what point do you get off the ride? At what point? At what point do you say this is it? And I'm the type of individual um where I have kind of bendable and movable boundaries. Now I have some boundaries that are firmer than others, but I'm a type person I try to have bendable and movable boundary. But I had to, y'all, with this situation, I had to say I can't do this no more. And that's hard. And it's even harder, y'all, when it's family. It's harder when it's a family member. Because a lot of stuff that our family do to us, if a friend do it, it ain't no question like, no, we ain't doing this. Cut off. That's disrespectful. Not, not. But when it's family, we're a little bit more long suffering with family. We're a little bit more understanding with family. But it goes back to what someone else said about the energy. When it's draining your energy, it's taking a lot out of you. And I have had conversations with my father. I've told him, hey, how about you text me sometimes? How about you call me sometimes? That's right, Auntie. Riding a roller coaster can make you nauseous. Yes, especially if you stay on it for too long. They're not meant to be ride long term. So why are we riding a roller coaster of people, their chaos and their confusion and their mess? And so, yeah, I wanted to have that conversation with you all about relationships. I want to share some things in regards to relationships. I want to again, y'all take time out to like, share. I appreciate the conversation. Y'all commenting. Y'all are wonderful. Y'all are blessing me. Tag a friend. Remember, the goal is to heal together. And then I even want to open up for some questions as well. That's right. We are easy to give. We're quick to give family a pass. We're quick to give family a pass. So I'm going to open up for questions. I know I did a lot of preliminary things, but I'm going to get ready to let you all off because I got on late. But I want to get on because it's been a minute. And so I want to ask you this. How many of y'all are in a relationship and it's a friend, but you seem to be giving more than other? I'm going to share with y'all some little characteristics of a toxic relationship that I found. Is that all right? So, some signs of a toxic relationship. Y'all ready? And then I'm opening it up for questions. Give me some apple juice. One characteristic is you give more than you're getting, which makes you feel devalued and depleted. Another one is you feel consistently disrespected or that your needs aren't being met. Now, it's one thing when your needs ain't being met, but it's another thing when you're on top of it, you feel disrespected. Another one, you feel a toll on your self-esteem over time. You feel unsupported, misunderstood, demeaned, or attacked. And this is maybe consistently. Another characteristic, you feel depressed, angry, or tired after speaking or being with the other person. Now, y'all, I have felt this. I'm like, man, I'm tired. I don't been with them for just 5 minutes. I don't talk to them on the phone for 20 minutes. I'm tired. It's still midday. I'm tired. You bring out the worst in each other. Sometimes it may not be that they bad, you a bad person, they're a bad person. Sometimes it may not be, y'all just not good for each other. Like, for example, your competitive friend breaks out a spite-based competitive streak that is not enjoyable for you. Another characteristic, you are not your best self around the person. Another one is you feel like you have to walk on eggshells around this person to keep from becoming a target of their venom. Ooh, that's a word, venom. We're talking about toxic now. You spend a lot of time and emotional strength trying to cheer them up. You ever have any, are any of y'all, you ain't gonna answer this in the chat, been in a relationship with somebody and you trying to encourage them and they take your encouragement as insult? Okay, I'm gonna move forward. You are always to blame. They turn things around, so things you thought they had done wrong are suddenly your fault. So you find yourself apologizing when they the one in the wrong. Ain't that something? Ain't that something how we make that happen? So someone comment, Lady Collins said, "This is for me. I'm 40 years old, have been trying to build a relationship with my biological father. It is so draining to all the reaching." Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And yes, ma'am again. It is so exhausting. And then also too, Lady Collins, for me, I don't know for you or anybody else, it makes you think like it can make you question your value if you feel, especially if it's family. And you know, I was talking about my biological father and she mentioned hers, but it can also make you question your value because it's like, what's wrong with me that I'm reaching out? He's not reaching back. Or it could be your mother, or it could be a sibling. You like, I'm reaching out, not reaching back, or I'm showing love and they taking my love as disrespect, or I'm complimenting, they taking it as criticism. So yeah. One question somebody put, at what point does grace run out? Is my husband. Whew. It really, honestly, I can't say, oh, after 3 tries. You know, for some of y'all on here, it may be 3 strikes, that's it. And that's okay. If that's that's the word I'm looking for, capacity. Capacity. Y'all might want to say that in the chats, capacity. So capacity basically means, let me say this. I'm gonna give you an example. So the capacity of this cup, so this cup can hold this much, this bottle can hold this much. So the capacity of this bottle seems to be more than the capacity of this cup. That way I can understand, right? So capacity is how much can I retain, or how much can I hold, or what's my storage level. So the capacity of this bottle seems to be more than the capacity of this cup. Okay. So it all depends on what your capacity is. Like for me, that's right, Sister Harper, capacity. Yeah. So again, he asked, the question, at one point does grace run out? And again, it all depends on your capacity. For me, like I said, I've been dealing with this issue with my dad I'm 29 years old. So I'd say, of course, maybe, like I said, he was around the first, I say elementary years of my life. But when I got in the teens, like the 2 digits, he just, I don't know what happened. He just wasn't there. And so, but yeah, now I'm 29. So I've probably been dealing with this challenge or issue. And it's one of those things with my dad. It's like, if he's doing good, in a good mood, he might start texting a little bit. He might start calling, whatever. But other than that, no. So it all depends on your capacity. That's right. My auntie said, only you know when enough is enough. So I can't say, oh, you give them 5 tries, or you give them 10 tries, or after the first year, if they ain't done this A, B, C, and D, then, it all depends on you. We're all different. We all have different personalities. So what's enough for me may not be enough for you. And so, you may look at me and say, oh, you being too understanding, oh, girl, I can't do that. So it just all depends on you. So, are there any more questions? That was a good question. Yep, that's a good question. That's really good, Sister Leslie. Manipulations is often overlooked because some of us are too busy trying to be the bigger person. That's so true. Any other questions? So, okay, I'm gonna get ready to let you go. It is 9:20. I stayed on too long. That's Ruth, Sister Ruby. Sometimes once they know you want it to work and they don't do the work, they can play on that emotion. That is true. That's just some people use our Christianity against us. And I say that respectfully. Some people use our Christianity against us. I'm gonna say again for the people in the bag. Some people use our Christianity against us, and it may not even be Christianity. If your belief is not that, sometimes it just may you're a nice person, you're understanding, you're a good person, or you desire to have a relationship with them. They may use that um against you. And so we have to be mindful. We have to be able to have wisdom and kind of monitor. And my word I want to use is discern what this is. And, I'm just at a point in my life now, you all, where, because now I understand the value of relationships. And I may do a part 2 of this and share with you. There's a book by Dr. Darius Daniels called Relational Intelligence. So next time we may do a part 2, but it's going to be called maybe Relational Intelligence or something. But it's such a good book, and it talks about knowing how to place people in your life. How many of y'all been in a relationship and you call them a friend and they just say, "Oh, that's my associate. Oh, I just work with her, or she's just my neighbor." But you saying, "Hey, that's my friend," but they say, "Oh no, this is my associate." That has happened to me. That has happened to me. So, definition is important. Definition is important. That is so true. Some people don't have the tools to communicate and understand and accept accountability. Yes. And it takes work and intentionality. But I tell you what, all y'all on here took time out of y'all's night to get on the healing room and learn something. And we had a conversation. I don't know about y'all, but I had a good time talking with y'all. And so all of us took time out to do that. So with that being said, if anybody want to learn, how can I be a better communicator? The first part it starts off with is acknowledgement. If can't nobody acknowledge that, hey, you just not a good communicator or you disrespectful, then if they can't acknowledge that, then that's the first step to change. The second step to change is doing something about it. So now I know I do this. What am I going to do about it? Am I going to seek counsel? Am I going to ask somebody, hey, hold me accountable when I do that? Me and my husband do that. When I say, hey, I'm sorry for saying that, I'm going to try to work on that. Please hold me accountable. When you see me doing that, call me out. So, but a lot of us don't want that. But anywho, I'm going to say this. If this blessed you, I'm not here for doing for the money. I'm not here for that at all. But if it bless you and you want to sow, I am flashing my Cash App information at the bottom if you want to be a blessing. I just tell you, it blesses me just to see y'all get on to support. And then y'all supporting the post today of my new endeavor of being a therapist for a company. I appreciate that. So if this blesses you and you would like to show love, support, you want to give any type of way you can, the information at the bottom. And if nothing else, thank you so much just for the love and support, and continue to pray for me and all these endeavors. I love you all and thank you so much, and praying for you all. And I just want to say this before I get off. There is no situation that you can't work through or get through. Nothing. Some situations maybe take longer than others. Because one thing about healing is not complicated. Healing is not complicated. It's not. Maybe what happened to you is, but the healing part is not. You just got to be willing to walk it out. It may be painful. It may be hard. You may think this is unbearable. But I just want you to walk it out. Hey, Shad. So good to see you. So good to see you. All right, you all, I'm going to let you go. You all have a good night. Enjoy some time with your loved ones, your family. And I want to encourage you to invest in those relationships that you are benefiting from. Life is too short. We don't know how much time we have. I'm just gonna be honest. I've been hearing more about death than anything lately. And so I want to encourage you to invest in those relationships that are causing you to grow and flourish and be beneficial and fruitful. So I love you all very, very much. I wish you nothing but the best. And until next time, again, the Cash App information is below if you would like to sow and be a blessing. But I just want to let you know you tuning in is a blessing for me, and us having this conversation is. So be on the lookout for the Healing Room. Or try to be consistent. Now, y'all can't see it, but I am 8 months pregnant. So my baby is due on my husband's birthday, September 8th. Woo woo. Another girl, she's due on his birthday. So we're excited about that. And so I might do one more in July and then do one in August and then just try to do me some nesting to get ready for the baby. So I love you all. Keep us in your prayers. And as God lay you on our heart, keep us in your prayers. But if nothing else, I'm gonna get out here. I know my husband's gonna say I'm long-winded, so I'm gonna go ahead and get off here. All right. Bye-bye.